Hello, this is Teach, and it's been 4 years since I first started Mogiko Castle with Voices, and began the trend known as the With Voices series. A lot has happened since then. I've done work on many a different With Voices series, I've gained many new friends, and even started work on an abridged series, which is close to the end of its latest season. It's been a long journey, but I've managed to get very far in my productions despite my setbacks. I'm now 2/3 done with The Witch's House with Voices, and 3/4 done with Undertale with Voices Pacifist and Octopath Traveler Mission Abridged Season 0. I've got bigger and better things planned for you all. Once we get to the end of this year's Atma, I'll be holding a special event for all of you to participate in. And once I get close to the end of Undertale with Voices Pacifist, I'll be cracking open the With Voices list and giving you all a chance to vote once again on the next series that I'll be giving the With Voices treatment to. Furthermore, I've got something special in the works for you all. Something that even my compadres don't know about. Chances are it might not be ready to get off the ground until next year, but it's something to look forward to. I wanted to try something special this year, but sadly time was not on my side, so I'm going to begin once again with another round of Q&A. Will you guys add voices to Ice Watching by Deep Sea Prisoner? Probably not. And for the same reason I haven't done anything for Obsolete Dream. It's not a complete project, and I have no idea when or if Deep Sea Prisoner will be giving us the next installment. But I will say this. Now that the Wada Nohara manga is completed, Deep Sea Prisoner is thankfully focusing on finishing his games. His primary focus right now is Mogiko Castle Gaiden, but there's also Carnival Rhythm and the Grey Garden HD remake. When Mogiko Castle Gaiden comes out, you can bet your ass I'll be on that one. Ever considered voicing Faraway Story by Fantasy Factory? Actually, yes I have. From what I've seen of this game, it seems to have a lot of potential, but I haven't had time to go through the game in full. Once I do, I'll be able to determine whether A, this looks good enough to give the With Voices treatment to, and B, if it's actually doable. What programs and equipment do you use to edit videos and record voice lines? For recording voices, I use Adobe Sound Booth. For editing, I use Adobe Premiere. On some occasions, I use Adobe After Effects. These programs have served me well for many years, and I highly recommend using Adobe's Creative Suite for your video production needs. However, the latest edition is actually tied to the cloud rather than installed on your computer. Plus, you are forced to pay via a subscription-based fee. So if you can get your hands on Creative Suite 5 or 6, I definitely recommend that.
My journey has actually been a little rocky. I got started in the industry first just by using my computer mic, and it was bad. It was awful. Then I got a pop filter as a graduation present. Yay! And then after that, I got a Blue Yeti microphone as another graduation present. And I was really, really excited. Then when I was looking at other microphones that my college had, like in their radio station, I saw that those mics were much, much better quality than the Blue Yeti that I had at home. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Blue Yeti is excellent for a first-time voice artist. It's just, I wanted a crisper sound. So, in the end, I ended up upgrading my home mic to a Rode NT1, and I have not regretted it. So I ended up recording most of my lines for voiceover on those microphones, actually. They're really nice if you want to spend like $489 on them. But, they are called Electro Voice RE20 microphones. They're for broadcast. They're for radio stuff mainly, but they're still really nice. And if you get a full package, they come equipped with a shock mount. And they're actually really ideal for recording at home. But the mic that I ended up upgrading to at home was the Rode NT1, and it has gorgeous, crisp, clear sound. And that paired with a foldable vocal isolation booth is great. And it does wonders, especially considering that when I record at home, I record all my lines in a living room. And to make sure that everything has a place to stand on, I just got a good quality microphone stand. So that's what I use to record at home. Editing purposes, I used to use iMovie quite a bit, but I mainly use Premiere Pro now because there's so much more flexibility. Same sort of thing with recording my lines. I used to use GarageBand on my iMac, and now I am using Adobe Audition because, like I said, there is more flexibility. You can change the volume more easily. Once you get the hang of the program, everything is just really easy.
Well, for a while, I ended up using Audacity, which was a pretty reliable free software you can download online. It was pretty nifty for the most part. It offered a lot of features that would help change up and edit your voice to sound a bit more professional and presentable and a bit more of a, I guess a more audible tone, I guess if you want to put it. But anyway, for the longest time I ended up using Audacity. Pretty handy, although I will say it did have a tendency to crash, the version I downloaded at the very least, so fair warning for anyone out there who plans on using the software, especially if you'd plan on using it for hour-long recording sessions. And my friend Josh and I learned that the hard way. But as for video recording, while I don't often do video recording for the channel, I do use Camtasia Studio 8. It doubles as a screen recorder and a video editing software, which is incredibly handy. It works pretty well as a video editing software. It's not super duper complicated like Adobe Premiere or Final Cut Pro, but it definitely offers a lot more options compared to Windows Movie Maker. You can definitely choose to drag and drop, move text around, and move sections of the screen around on there. You could zoom in, zoom out. It has a lot more fade-in effects, and it's pretty nifty. I wouldn't recommend it for a heavy, high editing job like what Teach does on his channel, because I believe he uses Adobe Premiere, or maybe it's Final Cut Pro. Well, anyway, he'll probably correct me though on the editing of this. But overall, though, like, it's not really recommended if you want to do the animations you would see in, like, let's say the Grey Garden, for example. But for something pretty simple, or for something that has a little bit of depth and flavor, I definitely would recommend Camtasia Studios.
For recording, I use an Audio-Technica AT2035, paired with a Behringer UMC22 audio interface. I do all of my audio editing on Adobe Audition.
Basically, I record with a Rode NT1A microphone and edit with Reaper.
So right now I'm using a Blue Spark microphone, not to be confused with Blue Yeti or Snowballs, since those are USB mics and this is an XLR mic. I also have a Studio V3 preamp and a Line 6 UX2 interface. And I record off of the program SoundForge.
As far as equipment goes, I use Audacity because it's free and I can't afford anything else. And I don't really do much editing other than that. And my microphone's an Apogee MIC 96K. It's not too bad.
For my recordings, I use Roland Quad Capture amplifier with Rode's NT2 microphone, and I'm edit the lines with Audacity.
How did you all meet? Basically, once I wrote the scripts for my With Voices series, I sent out a casting call. These folks were the ones who answered. However, once I finished up with Secret of Mana Theater with Voices, my friend Mikey Soda was nice enough to set up a Skype, and later a Discord. After that, I got in contact with my friends, and now we pretty much banded together.
The short answer is through Discord. Okay, enough funny business. Okay, long story, I actually met Marshall Teach through the Team 4-Star Discord server back when I was on it. I was kicked off for sending a link to the Hell's Dub that did not support the official release. I'm not bitter about that at all. No, but in all seriousness, I done goofed. So I get why they kicked me out. Anyway, he said that he needed someone for one of his voiceover projects, and I just said, okay, I don't know what the heck this Octopath Traveler is, but I auditioned for it anyway. I auditioned for Ophelia, Tressa, and Liana. Sadly, I did not get Tressa, which was the role I was kind of gunning for since I am Jewish. I got Ophelia and Liana, though, and it's really interesting to portray that dichotomy as the not sisters, and to have a completely different voice. And according to Marshall, their personalities are completely different in this abridged version versus the actual game. So it's really funny to show that. But yeah, once I joined the cast, I met all the guys through Discord, and I really love the environment there. Everyone is so friendly and welcoming. It's been so much fun to be a part of.
For the most part, though, how I came across the Blue Rhapsody channel, though, was that, well, put it simply, I was a passing DSP fan who came across a Grey Garden with Voices video, took a listen to it and thought, why the hell does Cacalb sound like Metal Face? This is bloody amazing, I love this. But in terms of actually meeting the other voice actors, we all met the same way, through Skype and Discord. Specifically the servers that Mikey Soda, the current voice of Seth, made for us though, since we didn't really have any sort of community connections, I guess you could put it. But overall, yeah, that's how we met them, mostly for these social media platforms. I will say, if it definitely wasn't for these hooks and lines of connection, I probably would not have stayed with this channel for as long, because honestly, the people around here have been very pleasant, very pleasing, have definitely shown off the better sides of them. They're very charming people. I'm so glad to be a part of this community, as small as it may be and as slow as it may run at times. I'm very glad to be around with it. I've had so many good memories, having just going around discussing just the craziest things around, the craziest moments of our lives, nerding out during various different Deep Sea Prisoner updates, as well as various other media knowledge and stuff like that. It's also where we recorded a lot of our offshoot videos, like Maddie, Mint Monster, and I. That's where we definitely recorded that, as well as our various different fanfiction readings that I don't remember if we actually did finish them. I know we finished one, but I don't think we finished that one Harry Potter one. But yeah, we all met though through Skype and Discord, and we've been kicking around since then. And honestly, I couldn't be more happy to be a part of this community.
The story of how I met everyone isn't particularly interesting. Teach put out a casting call for Octopath Machine Abridged. I sent him an audition for Cyrus, and I got cast. After that, I did my lines, joined the Discord, and got to know a couple of people. Like I said, not particularly interesting.
About 2 years ago, I was asked if I would be interested in auditioning for a project, and I ended up as part of the cast for Abe with Voices.
So I met Teach first when he casted me to be in Secret of Mana Theater with Voices. Back then we were just sending emails to each other, and I even remember when he opened up, talked about what he was interested in, such as the video game itself. And eventually when I got done recording for this show, I wanted to check out some of his stuff right here, and I ended up watching all of The Great Garden with Voices, and well, everyone was just so great in this. I mean, the fact that Teach is still in contact with these voice actors, it felt like a great opportunity to just create a Skype group and get as much of these people in this group so that we can talk to each other. And the turnout was great. I'm surprised that so many people wanted to join this group, and at that point, Mint Monster, Charlotte Poe, Shannon Kurtwood, Hedonistic Actor, Mr. Game Guy Color. I can't name all of you guys, but it's amazing that so many of you just wanted to participate in something like this. And now we're just on Discord, and even though we've gotten much more busy with our lives right here. The fact that we're still just coming in, popping into this group and talking to each other and, still getting new members to join us. I mean, it's great.
I auditioned in IB for Mannequin Head for 2 lines, and it was basically like, oh, here you go, here's the lines, and that was it. But then for Alpha, I was like, oh man, Octopath Traveler, I gotta do something for it. So I went with like the most ridiculous southern voice that I could think of, and I got it, so here I am.
I auditioned for Undertale with voices, and I got parts, and I met the rest of the team. And the rest is history.
Well, it's been fun, and here's to another year of videos. If you like what I do, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you really feel like helping me out, come over to my Patreon and leave a pledge. Even $1 a month will go a long way for me. But even without your support, I'll continue to create videos for you to enjoy. Until next time, teach out!